Hello everyone. Our topic for Learn It Yourself is make a website. We've made a website using HTML, CSS, and the backend is created using Rails framework. I'll show you the website and tell you some of its features. So, our website looks like this and is named Dialog Nation, where we allow the users to make their own dialogues. Further, they can update or delete the dialogues that they have created. We already have a few dialogues created. You can add your dialogue by clicking on the Make Your Own Dialogue button. A page appears which asks for an image, a name, and a dialogue. Now let's fill it up. On creating the dialogue, it gets displayed on the home page. Another feature that we have added is that on clicking on the name of the user, we can access all the dialogues created by the user and the time at which they were created. Also, to know more, click on the About Us tab. You can also check our Facebook page by clicking on the Facebook Connect button down below. Now we will tell you how we made this website and how we incorporated the various features into it. We have used Ruby on Rails to build a web app. Rails uses MVC architecture. MVC stands for models, views, and controllers. When a user sends a request, it goes to the controller, and then the controller calls the model. The model is where our database is stored. It performs some operations on the database and then returns it to the controller, and then the controller directs it to the views. The views is what the user sees. With the help of views, user can interact with the app and then see the output. Now we'll demonstrate how to create a Rails application in a Unix-based OS. First, you have to install Rails, for which you can refer to railstutorials.org, where you would find the steps to install Rails. Now let's start creating the application. First, open a terminal and type Rails new, name a project. For example, Rails new, learn it yourself. A bunch of directories and files will be created. A folder named Learn It Yourself is created on the desktop. On viewing this folder, we'll see a bunch of folders created. The app folder, the config folder, etc. Right now, only these two folders are of concern. We'll tell you what all they contain, but in a while. Coming back to the terminal, we'll use a magical command called scaffold, in which we specify a name of the model and the fields in the database, and it by default creates files in controllers, views, and models, which enables us to list out the items, create the items, and even edit and delete them. Now moving to the directory using cd command. Cd learn it yourself. Scaffold is generated by the following command: Rails generate scaffold dialog image name dial. As you can see, it automatically creates our database, routes file, application controller, view files, etc. Now we'll tell you what these files and folders exactly do. Before telling that, type rake db :migrate in the terminal. What this command does is that any changes we make in the model, it applies that changes in our database, that is, migrates the changes in the database. The best part of Rails is that it uses convention over configuration, which means that we don't need to combine the controllers, models, and views. We just need to follow the convention, that is, the naming. We name the files in different directories with the same name so as to map the action of one to another. Now opening the Learn It Yourself folder. You see many folders. Go to the app folder. The app folder contains the views, controllers, and the models folders. Now open the controller folder and go to the dialog, which is also the name of the model. In the file, we see many functions which are called methods. These are used to handle the requests of the users. For example, the index method lists all the entries in the database, that is, all the dialogues by mapping to the file called index.html.erb in the views folder. Similarly, all the methods mapped to some file in the view folder to render the output of the request that the user had made. The dialog equals dialog.find params means that we are storing a record with the ID we get from the record to the dialog variable, and this variable will be used to perform some operations on that current record which it holds. Now open the views folder in the app folder. With what it contains is the layout folder and the dialogs folder in the application layout. The application file in the layout folder contains the default style of all the files in the view folder. Here, the %yield command tells the application that the output of the files in the dialogs folder, which is itself in the views folder, is to be placed here. Now, these files in the dialog folder contain what we want to display to the user. The Ruby commands come inside the tag with percentage and the tag with percentage and equal to sign. If you want to display the output of the Ruby command, the files are stored with the .html.erb extensions, which enables us to write both Ruby and HTML codes. Code is written in these files which give the required output. We can modify these files and even style these files in the way we want what and how to display to the user. Now to manage the URLs, we need to see the routes file in the config folder. We can type the following command in order to redirect the user when he gives the URL /about command. Here dialogs is the name of the controller and about is the name of the method which we will render the about file in the views folder. Both the name of the controller and the name of the method are separated by a hash. Also, you can redirect your home page to a specific method in the controller by this command. We have modified our views, controllers and routes file. That means that our application is ready to use. So, only thing left is to open a server which can be opened by the command rails s. Now open the link that this command has generated in your browser and our website is ready. We can also add some styling to the views and get a website similar to ours. Simple, isn't it?